academic year. Before going to the lesson, let me ask you about the World Environment Day. Do you know which day are we celebrating it? As you know that, we are celebrating it on June 5th. In our English course book of Standard 7, the first unit, Nature's Plenty, contains three parts. First part is a story, How Far is the River? Second, a poem, The Echoing Green. Third, again a story, Snake on the Grass. Let's begin. Unit 1, Nature's Plenty. Look deep into the nature and you will understand everything better. By Albert Einstein. Let's begin. Here is a newspaper clipping. Read it carefully. Surimani's story definitely be an eye opener to those who deliberately walk away from the nature. Surimani is a tribal nature activist who loves the forest and considers it as her own. She loved the forest and knew that she could do something to save it. In college, she became the part of Save the Forest movement. It's a newspaper clipping. Read it carefully. Nature's daughter. Jargon. Living close to nature is living life in full. Surimani's story will definitely be an eye opener to those who deliberately walk away from nature. Surimani is a tribal nature activist who loves the forest and considers it as her own. She loved the forest and knew that she could do something to save it. In college, she became the part of Save the Forest movement. She went on nature walks with children on weekends, explaining that our survival is linked with the survival of the forest. What is this news item about? Suryavani works hard to save the forest. Have you ever made any attempt to save nature? Our survival is linked with the survival of the forest. Do you agree? Imagine that you are going to a nature walk with your teacher. How would that experience be? We can see big trees. We can hear the chirping sound of birds. We can smell the fragrance of flowers. Today, let us hear and understand the story How Far is the River? Have you ever heard of the famous Indian author Ruskin Bond? Born in 1934, he had written several stories in English. This story was also written by him. The story tells us how a boy fulfilled his long cherished desire to see an unknown river far away from his village. Once there lived a young boy in a village in a mountain valley surrounded by woods. There was a river flowing from the mountain through the valley far away from his village. He happened to hear about the beauty of the river, its banks, and about the beauty of different types of fishes, weeds, etc. in the river. He also heard about the rocks in the water. By hearing the description, he was eager to go to that river and enjoy the beauty of the river and the nature. One fine morning, his parents were away from home. He decided to use that opportunity to visit the river. He was sure that his parents will not be back before evening. He took a loaf of bread and closed the doors and windows and took the steep path for the villagers to go out of their village. There was no sign of any human beings beyond the mountain or near the village. Fortunately, he met a woodcutter and asked the way to the river. He told that the river was 7 miles away from there. He thanked the woodcutter and continued his journey through the thick forest and enjoyed the beauty of the forest. He met a grass cutter and asked her the distance to the river. She was unable to give a proper answer. He continued his journey. After covering a long distance, he saw a shepherd boy who was driving his goats. He made an inquiry from him and knew that the river was not far. They continued walking together. He shared the bread with him. After some time, the shepherd boy was diverged. By that time, he had traveled a long distance from home. He became hungry and was frightened with the silence of forest. Suddenly, he heard a roaring sound of falling of water. He proceeded towards the direction and reached the river. He felt very happy and ran into the ankle deep water and enjoyed the feel of the river. Thus, with his strong determination, he could see and feel the river. If you ever had such experience, write it in your book. Describe the nature's beauty in your surroundings. Just imagine the conversation between the boy and the woodcutter.